4 whispers of peace. Dear friend, have you ever felt? I am living as if carrying the whole world. Some sadness that can't be called by name. There's a pressure that can't be put into words. A wish that keeps failing makes us exhausted. In this moment, I invite you. Sit down with me softly. Let the breath come back to itself. And imagine you're walking into a garden. A place where every burden can be laid. Where the heart has the right to rest. The world is peaceful. Everything will start with a door. The door called gentle letting go. It's not letting go. It's not about giving up. It's about relaxing yourself to live peacefully in the middle of the flow of life. Happiness is not in holding. I met an old driver. Every day we drive in an old car. From early morning till late afternoon. My car was late because of the rain. I sat with him in the little pub by the side of the road. Listen to me tell you. When I was young, Bonchin wanted a new car. He wants more than this man. But the more you run, the more tired you get. Until one day I was sitting in traffic, looking at an old woman selling lottery tickets beaming. Sold the last one. That I burst into tears. That's when I learned to let go, not stop. It's about being lighter to live on. When you say that, I just keep quiet. Because I understand. Someone who really knows how to live lightly, and the lighter the deeper. How to let go without pain. How to go without getting tired. How to live. I see life as a gift, not a punishment. And then from a certain silence, a puffy answer. As long as you stop clinging to what you're doing, your pain is natural. The wind will not hold the leaves. The leaves still fall, and the sky is not to blame. The water across the bridge never came back, but the flow is still flowing. There are things that don't belong to me. There are people that no matter how much we love them, there are dreams that need to be wrapped back in the closet quietly. Letting go doesn't make me lose. On the contrary, it's a way to keep yourself. I once heard a very simple story, but it reminds me forever. A Zen master invited his students to carry a large stone in there. During the meditation, the student initially tried, but after a few minutes, I was exhausted. The teacher asked if I could put it down. I can do that. Why don't I let go? Embracing the pain again, smiling continued in my life as well. Suffering is not because life suffers. It's because I won't let go of what hurt me. Dear friend, you don't need to be strong. You don't have to be okay in a storm. You just have to dare to say a small word to yourself. I'm tired. Let me put it down a bit. Letting go is not 7 defeats. It's when we're old enough to choose peace instead of winning. If you are tired today, close your eyes and breathe slowly and talk to yourself. I'm learning to let go gently, to open the first door. The door of a peaceful soul. Are you comparing yourself to that AI? Life seems to be happier. Someone with a warm family. There is a wide door. Someone who always appears with a bright smile. It makes you feel small and not enough. If you are feeling tired, in my own life, if you feel like you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, not successful enough, then please, come into this space where you can listen to yourself and relearn to love yourself very gently. The shadow of others. There's a young girl right there surfing social media. I see my friends showing off their good husbands. Good boy travel luxury. Full color meal. She quietly turns off the phone. He looked at the meal in front of him and sighed. You're starting to feel inferior. I am unhappy that I am not equal to an I. Then one day, you talk to an older sister and get a very simple sentence. And 2, don't compare yourself to the external image that others paint, because I don't know what's behind that beautiful picture. How many tears are broken? No, or sure, I'm not inferior. I'm just forgetting how to look at myself with eyes of compassion. Why do I always feel I lost someone else? Because you're looking at them with magnifying glass, and look at yourself in a distorted mirror. I also try a lot, but I still feel that I am not enough, because you're counting things that aren't there, forgetting to be grateful for what exists. If you don't have nice shoes to wear, please remember that Some people have no legs. Comparison is the thief of happiness. People who go faster than you, not necessarily happier than you. They're just on their way. Go back to your own way. A flower still blooming in silence. I met a girl once. Living in a small house in the heart of the city. You have nothing outstanding? Her husband died early and her 2 older daughters went to work. Every day I go to the cooking market, sweeping the garden for irrigation, and in the afternoon sitting on the porch reading a book or burning incense in front of the Buddha table. I once asked you if you felt lonely. You smile very gently. No, my life is not as bright as others, but I see enough. Being healthy is a great blessing. I'm silent, for in the midst of the noise of life, there's a man like that. Live quietly and happily without having to prove anything. Everyone is a different flower. A lotus can't compare to an apricot branch. Tomorrow's flowers can't compare to autumn's yellow chrysanthemums. Everyone is a flower of heaven and earth. No AI is like I, no AI is inferior to I. You were not born to be yourself. Sao of any AI, you have your own light. You just have to realize that, and bloom in its own way. Dear friend, if today you find yourself not equal to that AI, remember that they've also seen times when they're not equal to I. Life is like that. Everyone is struggling with their own things that outsiders never know. And instead of getting tired of looking outside, let's go back. Ask yourself if you love yourself today. Am I smiling at myself? I'm grateful. Is it still in this life? Learn to sit still, take a deep breath, and remind myself that I don't have to be an AI. I just need to be myself. With a heart that knows love and a soul that knows enough, it's already amazing. Dear friend, how many times in your life have you heard this? Forgive me so that my heart may be at peace, but there's pain that's not easy to forgive. There's damage as deep as a cut that doesn't heal. There are people I don't want to hate, but I can't love again. And you wonder if I forgive. Am I weak if I let go of my anger? Am I easy on Germany, my friend? Forgiveness is not about giving that person a favor. It's opening the door yourself. Let yourself come out of the prison of suffering. Salt grains in a cup of water. Once upon a time, a little boy came to see the Zen master. I have deep resentment in my heart. He told me everything. His voice trembled, red eyes, and asked, I can't forgive for the one who hurt you. But why are you the most miserable? The monk quietly poured some water into the cup and put a spoonful of salt in it. I told you to try it. Your face is so salty, master. The master led me to the lake. Put a spoonful of salt in there and say, now drink water from this lake. Try it and smile. Cool and sweet water, not salty at all. The monk nods. The pain is like salt. If your mind is as small as a cup of salt, it will make you miserable. But if you open your heart like a lake, then all suffering will melt into compassion. But I can't forget they hurt me. No one makes you forget. Just don't let the past tie you to the present. I feel weak when I forgive. Public place. The strongest person is the one who can get angry. I hate it without an apology. If you forgive me, will I get hurt again? Forgive them, not let them repeat their mistakes. It's about giving you the right to take a lighter step and live deeper. I met an older woman in retreat. It looks very quiet. When I asked her why she was here, she just smiled softly. I came to learn to forgive. I'm curious, she said. Her voice didn't shake. The man I loved most in my life betrayed me. I used to hate. It was so painful to lose faith in people. But then I realized, every day passes in hatred. Is that every day I cut myself deeper into old wounds? I choose to forgive not because he deserves it, because I want to be free. I heard you, but tears keep falling, because that tolerance is a light. There's nothing more sparkling than this vast human realm. Angry AI. It's like taking poison and expecting people to suffer. The person who hurt you doesn't have to understand. As long as you understand that you need peace, I'd rather have pain once. It's better to carry that pain for the rest of your life. Keep your head down not because you lose, but wise enough to stand in peace. Dear friend, there are doors that only open from the inside. Forgiveness is one of those doors. No one can make you let go of anger. But if one day you're tired, when you feel heavy, try to let go. Even if it's just a little bit, try opening up even a small slit of light. And you'll see the dawn start there. I forgive not to leave others alone. But let me stop worrying. I quit not because I lost. It's because I chose to live on. Touch your own heart and listen to the words as soft as the wind. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's the silent power of the soul. Know how to love yourself. Dear friend, maybe in your life, you've heard at least once how nice it is. They are too smart and taken advantage of. Be kind forever. It only hurts to hear the truth because of the words. That seems right. But deep down you choose to be kind. Choose tolerance, choose gridlock ring. Because that's the gentle nature of you. It can't be different. So please sit down very slowly today. Together we will enter a calm space. To understand that honesty means weakness. It's kind to have wisdom. It's a great inner power. The story of the village gate key holder. There's a story I've read, very gently but deeply. In a small village there was an old man. A lifetime of doing good or helping people. Or laugh or speak kindly. People call him Mr. 8 Village Gate. Every day he opened the gate to meet him, guide strangers the way, inviting old people to vacation under their eaves. But then some people started saying he was stupid. They also take advantage of you, even to the thief. He also did not scold heavily. It's too cute to climb on top. One day there was a group of kids hanging him. Steal something in front of you. He just laughed softly. Others told you so you didn't shout no protest. He said if screaming changes them, I did, but if light, sowing a little faith, sow some compassion into their lives. Maybe one day, they'll remember and live differently. I live well. They keep being taken advantage of. I was misunderstood as being weak. I love people who don't know how to love me. And then the question kept repeating itself. Until there's a rainy afternoon, you sit alone and answer, I live by my heart, not to win. I don't want to be harsh, just because some wounds no one saw. And if a good person gets hurt, it's not cool. Because I choose honesty, not because they deserve it. It's because that's how I want to live. Compassion is not letting go. It's the power to keep the mind from resentment. A good person doesn't have to bow down. It's just that if they bend a little, their hearts will be lighter. Being kind is not about being recognized. It's for when night falls, I don't feel guilty for what I did wrong. The story of the woman selling vegetables. I know a vegetable vendor at the market. She is so honest that others take advantage of her. You owe money, you don't pay the vegetables, and you don't come back. Once I asked her why she didn't ask me not to scold her. What do you do when you scold me? I scolded them not to pay. They only add anger to people when they are silent. Maybe God loves me? She smiles rustic smile. It's as beautiful as a roadside flower no one notices because you chose to be kind, in a wise and serene way. Myself, be a good person in a world. It's easy to make people dry. It's very courageous. But being a good person with wisdom is much more noble. You have the right to be kind, but not easy. You can be tolerant, but you can't hurt yourself. You can hold on, but know what you're up for. Honest is not stupid. It's someone who has gone through suffering, understand the life, choose to live with a warm heart. And if one day you're misunderstood just because you're too good, smile and whisper, I don't need AI to record it. Just take my heart easy every night. Because I have lived fully. It doesn't hurt AI. And don't betray yourself. Dear friend, have you ever felt tired because your life is not enough? Not enough money to live comfortably, not enough success. Confidence is not enough love. To feel fully loved. We keep running after what's not enough, as if that's the ultimate goal. Then one day I turned around. You find yourself dropping a lifetime, just trying to get more. I didn't realize I was full for a long time. Please come back to yourself today, with slow breathing, with the heart in a hurry, to walk with me into the space of knowing enough, the beginning of a happy life, the seed in the midst of man. Once upon a time there was a rich king, but he always felt, even in the hands of 1,000 soldiers' gold, the king still struggled every night, sighing for fear of losing everything. Once the king asked a Zen master, "Let us live happily. No more endless longing." The teacher just smiled and said, "Let's go to the farmer in Kier village." He was poor, but he laughed at the neighborhood every night. The king came and asked you what you were so happy about. The farmer replied, "Your Majesty, I have nothing, but I'm glad I have hands to work with every day. There's food to eat and people to love. That's enough." The king stood still without words. For the first time in my life, you see the wealth of a man who has nothing. I'm not rich. I'm missing a lot of things, but are you hungry? Is there anyone waiting for you to come home? Did the sun shine on your window today? I want to be a little bit more than people. If you keep comparing, you never see enough. But if you bend down and be grateful, you'll find that you have a lot of false positives. Although the land of destruction by peaceful people know enough, even on the ground I feel happy. There are things we don't have, but there's no shortage. There are things we have that we don't realize. Knowing enough is the first step to stop suffering. She sells bananas and weekend meals. I remember one weekend afternoon, it was drizzling. I pulled up on the rain roof. I saw a banana lady sitting on a pillow. I asked her, "Is it sure to rain like this?" You're laughing so well, it's fun. If you can't sell it, bring it home to eat. Rest is also a kind of blessing. I looked at her with a smile in the rain. A bag of fragrant ripe bananas beside, a heart that never felt lacking. I realized there are people who have nothing, but he lives very rich, because they don't live by greed, but live with gratitude. We don't need too much to be happy. We just need a room that's quiet enough to meditate, a meal of protein enough to nourish the body, some people know enough to share, and a strong enough heart not to run after all external temptations. Living less happily is better than living more tirelessly. Living light is not because of poverty. It's because we choose not to carry unnecessary things. Dear, if you are tired, because it's just running around a little bit more, try to sit down. You turn off the phone, breathe slowly and see what you have. You'll see a smile still on your lips. A loved one is still waiting. A roof that still covers the sun and the rain, and a heart still intact enough to start over. With gratitude. I choose to live enough because it is the wisest way to live. I choose to live less because the less my heart is empty. And I choose to have fun because life is short. Today is the last day. I don't want to regret anything. Hello, dear friend. Please close a day of worry. I want to sit down and take a deep breath. Let go of all the judgments, more than lost out there, and listen with me. It's not the story of one AI. It's the whisper of my own heart, where you always want to be understood. No one in this world has ever suffered. No one ever had a hidden pain. Everyone is an unfinished book. A chapter is unfinished. So how can we judge them from just one paragraph? The story of the woman on the bus. I was on a bus once, and an early morning. The car seems to be in a hurry. Hey, I also bowed to the phone. At the next station, a woman steps up. It's a bit sloppy. The eyes of the seven gods. She sat near the door with her hands on her forehead and sighed continuously. Some people in the car shook their heads. A young girl whispers that her addiction doesn't look good. I didn't say anything, just observe. A while later, a call came. Woman catches the phone, voice trembling. The doctor said, "Why is he still breathing?" I'm sorry. I couldn't calm down. The car went silent. I looked at the mother who was in so much pain. No one in the car knows. Before you say that, I've judged that AI at first sight. never once nodded. Believe that you understand a person in just a few words. Is it when we make fun of an AI? That's when we let our pride blur. Eyes of love. And if I'm in their situation, I'm sure I'll do better than them. Each person is a life. No one is like the original. People who laugh a lot may not be happy. The cold is not necessarily evil. Their stories we may not understand. But we can choose to be quiet, and it doesn't hurt them anymore. Without judgment, it's a deep form of compassion. The man at the end of the neighborhood. At the end of my neighborhood, there is a small temple. There was a man who used to go there and sweep the Buddha's leaves. Working quietly for years. They call him the crazy man, because he rarely spoke or muttered to himself his sloppy appearance. I was curious to ask the monk in the temple, "What's wrong with him, master?" The master just softened his voice. He lost his wife and children in an accident. I couldn't stand up for years about why you were born here. Every day to keep calm, I'm silent. Since then, I've called him the keeper of the pagoda, who hugged the fallen leaves, as if embracing the sadness of my life. To learn to stand up little by little in silence, they are also learning to live like me. It's actually trying to survive. Impulsive people can because no one has ever gently caressed them. People may be angry because they are lonely. Better than losing. Maybe it's because they've never been recognized. And the person you're not liking, it could also be someone who is hurting silently, just like you used to be. When we understand enough, I will no longer want to judge. When I love you enough, we will choose silence. There is room to stand in the middle of life. Dear, if you find that AI unpleasant today, it's disgusting. Please step back, breathe a little and ask, I really know how much they are? Dare to conclude, people, they stand this life is short. We don't need to use that brief part to judge each other. Use it to understand and feel. To walk softly in life like a cool wind. I don't understand you, but I choose not to hurt you anymore. I've never lived your life. But I choose to look at you with kind eyes, because sometimes it only takes one person to choose not to judge. Someone who chooses to understand is enough for a heart to be saved from loneliness. Dear friends, there are people who have walked through my life like the first rain, soothing, cooling. Then quietly someone left a beautiful memory. Some people leave wounds, but strangely, whether you come with a smile or leave with tears, they are all grace. And if you look through the eyes of someone who's been through enough, understand deep enough, I will bow my head and say thank you to my ex for coming to learn how to grow. A little story. In the days gone by, I met a sister in a short retreat. After the meditation, she shared in a trembling voice, I used to hate my ex-husband. It's because you left my mother at the most difficult time. But yesterday after the meditation, I saw your picture on my child's phone. Suddenly my heart is no longer angry. I cried, but this time out of gratitude. Because that fall taught me how to stand up. I've learned to love my child more. I've learned how. Return to yourself calmly and fully. I look at you in the middle of a wrinkled face. I saw a lotus bloom. It's not because AI cares, it's because you know yourself. By the sun of letting go and being grateful. Why did they leave me? Why did they treat me that way? I used to really love them. Why did they leave without mercy? These questions used to make us lose sleep. Used to make me cry my tears at night. Used to make my heart turn to stone. But as the years passed, I understood. It's not who stays that's the benefactor. Someone came to hurt me. But then we got stronger. Deeper and fuller in my own heart. Everyone in my life has a reason. People who love me teach me gratitude. People who hate me teach me patience. Who abandoned me teach us to stand up for ourselves. No meeting is random. It's all about grace, short or long. The teacher is the one who leaves first. I have a friend. I was hurt because my first love was broken. The day my girlfriend left me like a lost soul. For months, I don't want to eat. I don't want to talk to anyone. But then you went to meditation. You learn to accept. Learn to see things as crazy. One day I asked, Are you still mad at her? You're just laughing. She was the one who taught me my first big lesson. It's only because of her that I know. Love is not to hold but to let go at the right time. To some point, you'll see the person who hurt you. The one who makes you strong. Who used to turn his back. Someone who helps you get back to yourself. Someone who promised 7 promises that teach you not to set expectations outwardly. From a place of blame to a place of gratitude is the journey. Someone who has learned to grow in peace. Dear friend, if today you still remember that AI that hurt you, remember that the pain is not in vain. It helps you grow deeper and understand life better. Close your eyes and whisper a word of gratitude. No need for anyone to hear. They don't need to thank their ex, because you are the one who made me a part. A better version of yourself. Let your heart down. Not because they deserve it. It's because you deserve a peaceful life. Dear, please sit down. It's like putting a flower on the water. Take a deep breath and step away from your wishes. Calculating what we still desire every day. There are too many people suffering today. Not because they have nothing. It's because they want too much. They want everything. I want everyone to love me the right way. I want life to always be perfectly smooth. But my friend, nothing is perfect forever. Once upon a time, there was a young man. I love a girl in the village. Before you get married, ask a Zen master. I asked the teacher, why do you know she's the perfect one to accompany you for the rest of your life? The master smiled. Take the boy to a field and say, walk through the Kior meadow. Let's meet a leaf. The grass you find most beautiful, bring it back. But remember, you can only go one way and never come back. The boy started to go. The first one I saw was beautiful, but afraid there is more beauty ahead, so do not pick. The second card is also NT0, but you keep going. Then one by one, the leaves you're missing. To the end of the field, there are no more pleasant ones. You come back empty-handed. The teacher asked me what I had learned. The boy bowed his head. I've been so perfectionist that I've lost enough. It's right in front of you, between hope and peace. I want everything to be as perfect as I imagined it to be. But life wasn't born to please you. Life is about learning to accept and grow. If I'm not happy with that AI, should I change them? Change yourself first. Change perspective, change expectations. Change of mind. If today doesn't go as planned, do I have 7 defeats? No, you're just living like everyone else, in the midst of an imperfect world. The world is not perfect. People are still alive and still living. Hey, I also has cracks like the old vase. But thanks to that crack, the light came in. Perfection is a burden. Knowing enough is relaxing. Granny and Mom cup of tea. I used to visit a small riverside tea house. The owner is a thin, gray-haired woman. Eyes as clear as a village well. She offered me a cup of tea with a soft cup in her mouth. I asked her why she didn't use a new cup. She laughed because this cup was used to drinking. It's not perfect, but it has a story as well as a lot of broken parts in my life. But still beautiful in my own way. I'm silent. In the midst of something perfectly beautiful. A refreshing cup that calms my heart. Flowers also come from the mud. Lotus flowers do not require water to be clean. The soil must grows in mud but still blooms very pure. People too. We don't have to wait for everything to be perfect to be happy. Happiness is knowing how to smile even in the middle. Be thankful for the incomplete, because that's how we learn more deeply. There's no perfect AI or anything. Only the mind knows how to accept and love. That's right, dear friends. If you find your heart stirring today, for something that doesn't go right, someone who's not up to expectations, please take it easy. Because life is like that, because people are like that, because I'm not perfect myself. But in the midst of so many unfinished things, as long as you have a loving heart, it's the most complete thing. I don't need everything to be perfect. I just need a life enough to go home every night. Light as a cloud at the end of the day. And if tomorrow somebody asks, what do you want most in life? Smile and say, I want to live normally, in a soul that has learned not to be perfect. Hello, dear friend. Invite you back to yourself. in this very peaceful moment. No noise, no hurry. It's not for nothing. Just to take a deep breath. Just to dive for a minute round. Outside here, maybe you live in a small room. Or a big house. Maybe you have a lot. Or find yourself with nothing. But today I'm not asking you what you own. I just want to invite you to ask yourself, am I really living or just existing? By happiness. It is not in what we hold in our hands. It's what we find meaningful. Every day I live, the poorest are those who have lost their sense of life. I had a chance to talk to a doctor who used to cure for many patients with terminal cancer. You said something strange. Those who have home, tall, beautiful car, thick account. When I know I don't have much time, they are the most panicked. There are very poor people in their beds, but still say, I just need to see the sun one more time in the morning. I'm satisfied, I understand. Rich people are not necessarily happy. It's someone who feels the meaning of life. No matter the circumstances, I'm done listening because sometimes life has meaning. It's more precious than anything we try to hold on to. Between yes and C. I have a good job, but South still feels empty. I have someone by my side, but I am lonely. I have everything everyone else wants, but I don't feel happy. And then a quiet answer comes to mind. Because you live to own, not to feel. Because you're trying to hold on without ever letting go, to see what's there. Some people have everything but lose themselves. Some people have nothing, but smiling peacefully every day. Happiness does not come from outside. It's from the inside, where you know how to live deeply with every moment. Too much would be exhausting. Just in time to feel light as a cloud. I know an old man who lives near a small temple. He wakes up early every morning, make tea and water the tree and sit by the old well, listening to the birds sing and reading some pages of old books that have howled. I asked him if he was sad to grow old and live alone. He laughed and was sad. It's fun to hear the birds every morning. If you can read the words, you are lucky. Any day alive, that day is meaningful to live for. As I watched the wrinkles on his face, it's like a lotus blossom in my heart. Some people don't need much, because they had a deep sense of happiness that young people who run their whole lives may not have found. Did you notice? True happiness comes from something very close. A meal with someone you love. An unexpected hug in the middle of a rainy day. A silent look at each other without words. Take a deep breath knowing you're alive. Still present in this life. When you are truly present in every moment, you'll find you don't need anything else to be happy. Dear friend, if you still see the sunrise today, there are feet to walk on, there is someone to call home, so you're very rich. Don't let happiness turn into something too far away. Must hold, must hold. Happiness can be an afternoon of listening to music. I can hear the birds in the morning. It's a question of you coming home, Mom. I'm a smile to myself. After all, I don't need to own everything. I just need to live with what I have. And find it makes sense. Because in the end, the happiest. Not someone who can hold a lot, it's someone who feels deep. Hello, dear friend. Invite you back to yourself on a very quiet afternoon. Let go of the rush out there. Relax your shoulders. I've been carrying so many things over the course of a long day, and just sit back. Listen to something familiar. It's easy to forget in this life that the person closest to us, they are usually the ones who get hurt the most. From my own anger. Not because they're wrong. It's not because they deserve to be yelled at. It's because they've been with us the longest. And sometimes we get used to their presence. To the point of no longer keeping my mind, no longer take it lightly, not as precious as the beginning. The mother's story and ate sour soup. I've heard a very gentle life story, but kept my heart quiet for days. A man comes home from work, tired after a stressful day. Just walked into the house. I saw 8 steamed broths on the table. But it's cold? I want you deep. I didn't yell back. I'm tired of coming home from work. The silent mother just bowed her head. The meal passed in the heavy air. That night, the mother stayed up late to mend his shirt, his hands trembling but still trying to hold the line. The next morning, when you opened the door, I saw a piece of paper on the table. Mom, I'm sorry. I was so tired yesterday that I forgot to warm up. Next time I will remember. Just one line where you stand dumbfounded. Because in the midst of life's worries, I forgot that that woman wasn't a maid. Not a stranger. It's your biological mother. Why are we so easily angry with our families? With outsiders? Why can we hold back the world, but pour it all out on loved ones? Because they don't resist. Because they didn't leave us strangely, or I am so used to their love for me. So we assume they'll always suffer. The closer we get, the easier it is to hurt each other. Words are sometimes like knives. But relatives are the ones who can't escape. It's easy to say sorry to strangers. But with relatives choking in the throat, loving someone is not just about washing clothes. It's telling them easy words. When my heart thunderstorms, my son in his old car. I know a friend, growing up in a poor family. His father worked as a car mechanic, oil all day long. My friend used to be ashamed of it. Every time I drive to school in an old car, he didn't say hello to his father in front of his friends. I even spoke to him in a loud voice. Don't take me to school next time. I lost my face and said nothing. A few days later, my friend went to school by himself. I ride my bike and never see you repeat. Until one rainy evening, the bike broke down in the middle of the road. I had to walk home and found father waiting at the door, holding a dry towel and a cup of warm milk. I don't blame you. Just say you wish. My friend told me that red eyes. Sometimes the people who love me the most, they are the most silent when they are hurt. The Buddha taught that understanding is the foundation of love. When we don't understand why people react that way, we are easy to blame, easy to judge. But if one day I sit back and listen to him, listen with the heart, we'll understand that the mother scolded us for fear of going the wrong way. The father is silent not because he does not care, because I don't know how to show it. Friend, life, or scowl because of too much burden that no one sees. And when we understand, we don't want to be angry anymore. It starts with deep understanding, and not from empty promises, dear. If you just yelled at your mom today, if this afternoon, if you say something that hurts someone, if you were tired last night and yelled at me, no, you're still a good person, you're just tired. But please don't let that fatigue be the reason. Make the person you love hurt, because one day, when they're no longer around, you'll see sorry at the latest. There's no place to send it? I want to learn how to love better. I learned to be gentle, so that my loved ones don't suffer more cuts from my own hand. Sit down. Close your eyes and imagine you're holding your loved one in your arms. That's it. It's enough to start over with love. Not conditional. Dear, please sit down. Relax your shoulders and let go of all your worries. You don't have to be strong. There's no need to try to be okay. Just be yourself, with my heart still beating, and a soul that knows how to shake before. The honest thing in this world. There are things lost that can be recovered. But there's one thing. When you lose it, it's hard to find it again. The sincerity of others for me. That can't be bought with money. Today, I'd like you to join me in a gentle reflection. To listen again. The most important thing is not status, reputation, or property. It's how we keep the trust of others. With the truth. In letters. The boss was looking for rice and a rusty scale. Once upon a time, in a small village by the river, there was an old man who sold rice for over 35 years. Your rice is not the best. The price is not necessarily the cheapest. But his rice shop was never empty. Someone asked you what the secret is to keeping guests. He grinned and pointed to the old scale. I've been looking at this scale for 15 years. I've never been wrong for an hour. I believe the word business is not in the mouth. It's on the right side. One day he fell ill. His son replaced father in sales. When I saw the crowd, I mixed some rice husk. Adjust your weight to more words. A few days later, the guests were gone and the store was empty. The old man only sighed when he heard. One word, construction 35. But one lie is enough to bring it all down. Living too straight is really impossible. But that's the real thing about people with personality. What do I need credibility for? Because when you have nothing left. Character count. That's the only thing anyone can remember about you. To be honest, people are not sure. But if you're not honest, you won't be able to love yourself. Honesty may not bring many friends, but will always bring true friends. Letters count like bird wings. Fly once and never come back. Keep your heart straight like a bamboo. Wind but not broken. It's empty and full of air. The story of the shoemaker. Near where I am, there's a cobbler sitting quietly in a corner of a small market. Every time a guest comes, I bow my head. Get your shoes cleaned before repair. You can smile and pay the right price. One day I asked him why he didn't take more. Who knows, you answered. My eyes are far away, I fix my shoes. But it's actually retaining trust. Someone who's walked past me 2 or 3 times. I had to leave them alone and come back. I don't fix it with workmanship. I fix it with letters. People like that. Without advertising, there are still visitors every day. Because they don't sell by mouth, they live by real value. The Buddha taught that sincerity is light, though not dazzling, but enough to illuminate the conscience of others. We don't need to shout to be believed, we just need to be true. Words have weight. Actions are consistent. Compassion is enough for others to respect themselves. Because fake life can be noticed for a while, but real life will be respected for a lifetime. Dear friends, in a world where people are easily swept away into flashy things, someone who still has integrity, live true to your word. It's a precious fulcrum in the middle of life. No matter who you are, live like a tree with deep roots. Maybe not the slopes don't glow, but steady and cool. And make others want to lean on. I don't have to be more than you. I just have to keep my word. Living in the right way is fun enough. Keep your word like a lotus in your heart. Because once lost is once my heart is broken. And if you're in the middle of a choice today, between small profits and trust, please choose to live honestly because sincerity is an asset. No one can steal even a life. Force it down a little. Like when you've just laid your back after a tiring day, it's not for nothing. It's just to breathe. There are times in human life when there are self-defeating moments, when we're hanging around, things that can't be captured. 5 years I look around. I wish there was a hand that gave me a sympathetic look. Someone who understands me. But we waited forever and no one came. And it's in that moment that we realize, pray for others. Not by standing up for yourself. Guide yourself through the winding paths, the darkest of life. The story of a man praying in the rain. Once upon a time, there was a man who had been in the rain for 3 days. To ask the Bodhisattva Kuan Yin embodiment to help. He knelt beside the raindrops with tears. My mouth never ceases to pray. Have mercy on me. Save me from this misery. Then on the 3rd night, in a strange dream, he saw Kuan Yin coming smiling. He didn't say a word of comfort. He didn't give him a miracle. He gently placed an umbrella in his hand and said, "You're asking me to cover the rain. I'm just the one who reminded you that I can also stand up and cover the rain for myself." The man woke up and the rain wasn't over. But in his heart he stopped getting cold. I prayed too much. But why doesn't anyone help me? Because sometimes people only help when they stand up. No one can save people who don't want to save themselves. I feel weak. You can't get through it yourself. But slow down. Little by little, you can move on by yourself. Even though it's very slow, do I need it on my side? But first make friends with yourself. The right person will come by himself. No one hands forever for those who cry. The hand that saved me, sometimes, it's the hand that's clasped together in prayer. Light the torch yourself. Is the Buddha's teaching. The island itself is the shore is the boat through suffering. I met a woman who sold lottery tickets, small figure with gentle eyes, walking along the alleys of the dreamy neighborhood. It was raining hard one day. I saw you standing under the eaves, shaky hands drawing wet numbers. I asked her why she didn't ask for money. You can't save the bad. I still have my legs and my hands. I sell any day is fun that day. Please, not difficult. It's hard not to take yourself for granted. When I heard that, I no longer saw you miserable. I just saw a fire burning so silently in your eyes. The fire of a self-respecting person. Save yourself in the rain of life. When we come back, every prayer is answered. Who prays sincerely? It's not the people who sit around waiting for a miracle. It's the one who gets up and wipes his tears and turn yourself into the answer for that prayer. The Buddha taught that there is no one to suffer for. Only people know how to wake up, overcome suffering, and achieve it yourself. Sometimes the miracle is that we can breathe. We still have a small chance to start over. We still have an inner being quietly searching for the light in the middle of the night. Dear, I didn't tell you not to be weak. I'm not telling you to be strong all your life, but I want you to sit down when you're tired. But don't lie forever. When you cry, let the tears fall. But don't forget to wipe it off and look ahead. Prayer can be the beginning of humility. But stand up for yourself. It's the beginning of inner strength. I'm not waiting for someone to give me a hand because I know my hands are enough to embrace ourselves and move on. If you're at the bottom today, please remember, you're not alone. You're walking down a dark path, but the light never goes out. If you still have faith in yourself, and right in this moment, if you put your hand on your heart, you'll see. My heart is still beating. Faith is alive. The way home is still widening with every breath. Mindfulness. Dear, if you are tired right now, let's take a little pause. Sit down and relax. Take a deep breath and let yourself drift into a quiet space where you're no longer trying to be another AI, where you just need to be human, learning to live simply and be lighter. Every day, we've spent almost an hour together. Now let's leave this last part as a light rue. Rue, give your mind peace, give your soul peace. When the video is over, there will be a deep question in your heart. I'm really living? Or just filling in the gaps? The story of the old farmer in the mountains. In a remote mountainous area, there was an old farmer living alone in a small house by the stream. Day by day, he was farming vegetables for chickens. At night, light the oil lamp and pray. Your life is slow. It was slow, but his eyes were bright. Your heart is wide. A city man up there on vacation asked. Life like this is not sad. There's nothing to do all day. I'm not afraid of being alone, laughing every day, but not tired, because I do it with peace of mind. I live alone, but I've never felt lonely, because I have no one to be angry with, and there's nothing to fight for. The young man heard the simple silence and was happy. That's something the city can't possibly afford. The question of someone who is tired. Why does my life get more and more complicated? Because the more you live, the more you want. If you want a lot of heart, the mind is restless. If I let go, do I lose anything? You just lose the things that are weighing you down. But life simply. Do people despise themselves? Only complex people despise simplicity. People who understand deeply. The more you appreciate the lightness of the truth, who dwells in mindfulness. Walking and sitting is meditation, not least is poor. But it's the bottomless greed that's so pitiful. Life is simply a way of bringing the mind back to the present. Where you don't run anymore, you start to really live. I once visited a big sister. Living in hiding, after leaving a management job at a large company, she led me into the room, pointing to the closet. Here are all the clothes I have. I was surprised, because you used to be a connoisseur with hundreds of sets. She looked at me smiling softly. I used to think dressing well was about being respected. Now I see nothing fancy, and still live as you are. That is happiness. The small closet makes my heart wider, because you don't have time to choose. It takes time to live deeply. So slow, so meaningful. The simpler a person lives, the more empty the mind becomes. The less complicated a person is, the lighter the heart. It simply doesn't mean living without. It's choosing to live enough. Living with a mind that knows how to stop. A cup of tea? If it is too full, it will fill your heart as well. Hugging too many things, sooner or later it breaks. Dear friend, a life is not long. Don't let it get wrapped up in clutter. Don't let yourself be the one who has it all. But lack of peace. Let's start small. Clean the corners. Let go of what no longer needs a little more words. Open up a little more and live slowly. Enough to see the birds singing. You don't have to climb to the top to be safe. Just sit back with yourself. In the afternoon and a cup of hot tea, I choose to live more simply. Leave enough space for the sun to come by. Be quiet enough to hear your voice. However, if today, after all, you smile softly for nothing more, but because your heart has softened a little, that's enough. Dear, if you're sitting in a small room by a yellow light, the tea is warm, or keeping a weekend afternoon unhurried, please close your eyes for a moment. Take a little breath to breathe in. Breathe out softly and listen. Not the reading voice. It's not external sound. It's the voice in your heart. The voice of someone who has just passed 13. The way in my heart. The voice of a tired soul. It used to hurt, but now it's getting better. We've been through so much together. I thought it was small. A falling leaf reminds us of letting go. 8 cold soup reminds us of gratitude to relatives. A judgmental gaze that learns empathy. Once it gets worse for me to wonder, do I really understand the kia we talk about knowing enough? About forgiveness for living simply? About not running according to the perfectionist? And also the price of a sincere word. It's not all about becoming another AI, it's about coming back. Go back to yourself, with a less noisy, less complicated life, less greed see. Let your soul grow a little more peaceful. I remember going to a small temple. I saw an old man sitting alone on the porch, hands and eyes looking out at the sunny brickyard. I asked him to sit like this every day. She laughed softly like the wind, as sit to listen to the time that goes by and not follow it. When you were young, did you have any big dreams? But the bigger the dream, the smaller. I wish I didn't hurt anyone every day. And sit still at night with no regrets. I looked at him and saw that I was still asking for too much. I haven't learned how to sit still. I have not learned how not to regret. I've gone too far to find a place of peace outside. I forgot the nearest place. It's inside me. I used to compare myself to others. Then one exhausted day I realized, no one is like AI. No one lives for AI, and no AI has to live up to AI standards. I used to think forgiveness was a weakness, but the more you embrace, the more you get tired and let go. I see how strong I am. Peace of mind will be, light will be light. You don't have to go far to find happiness. Just go back to your own mind. Live a simple life that the heart no longer desires. It is the greatest blessing in this world. Now, if you've heard all this talk, please take a few seconds. Not thinking, not looking. Just be quiet so you feel like you're still sitting here. I am breathing steadily and peacefully. Nothing out of reach. No one needs you to stand up. You just have to be yourself in the soft version, the most honest. Each of us' journey is different, but they all have one thing in common. They're all looking for peace. If what you just heard, let your heart soften a little. It makes you feel like you can slow down, understand people better, and love yourself more deeply. That is the full meaning of the Dharma. The phone today, thank you for taking precious time to listen, to sit back with myself, and to plant a seed of mindfulness in the mind. I wish you a life simple enough to feel light, deep enough not to be superficial, love enough to go through this life. No regrets. See you some afternoon in another video, where my heart is settled once more. Nam Tishu Ad Da Buddha. I wish you a safe life.